Hey all, welcome to Homeschool and welcome back to Class 9 Chapter Motion. Already two videos are completed on a chapter. Video links are provided in the description. You can just go and watch it out if you have not yet watched. And this is our last session on a chapter motion where I will be discussing about graphs, how to plot a graphs and what information does graphs can give and how graphs can describe about motion. All that we will discuss. And then the three important equations of motion, which we call it as kinematic equations, and how to derive those equations from the graph and a few problems based on those equations. So this is what I'm going to complete in this particular video, and this topic is really the most important topic of this chapter. Okay, so watch the video carefully. Video can be quite lengthy, but then definitely you will have that feel of understanding after the completion of the video. And don't forget to post your opinion about the video in the comments. Fine, let's start the topic. So first one, let's talk about graphs. Okay, so which I normally call it as motion graphs. Okay, so we are going to study two types of graphs, right? And before we go for the types of graphs and what graphs we study, let's understand what actually we mean by a graph, right? So this is a common word we hear in a day-to-day life. I mean, if you watch TV, for example, you are watching a great cricket match. There they will show some graphs onto a side, right? The graphs will have, I mean, they will tell you like in which over how many runs a particular team had got, all that. If they want to analyze, they'll plot a graph, and from a graph they will come to know the information. See, complete information they will not come to know. At least basic information they will come to know, that in which over, how many runs a particular team has secured, and that way they can compare the performance of one team with the performance of other team, right? So this way graphs are very helpful to give basic information about a particular event. Okay, so about a particular concept, if you want some basic information, then these graphs are the best idea. Okay, so what actually we mean by a graph? Say in our NCERT textbook, it is mentioned as, graph is a convenient method. It is a convenient method to understand basic information, right? Basic information about an event, or about a particular concept. Okay, so that's what a graphs give us. And we all know how to plot a graph. That I think we have learned it in mathematics, right? So you know how the graph paper looks like, and you know what is x-axis, what is y-axis, right? So all that basic idea, hope that you people know. Fine. So now graphs are of various types. You have bar graphs, you have line graphs. Okay. So here in our chapter, we are mainly focusing about the line graphs. Okay. So we need to study two important graphs here. One is a graph of distance and time. Okay. So distance time graph, and another one is velocity time graph. Velocity time graph. Okay, so about these graphs we should study something in details. First, let me talk about distance time graph. Okay, or sometimes we can say it as position time graph also. Okay, so now let's take a word as distance here. So distance time graph, this is what I am going to discuss initially. Fine. So we all very well know that a graph is something that has two axes, right? We mark by taking two axes. Say if I put this horizontal line like this, it means that this is x-axis, okay? And here when I put a vertical line, then this means that this is y-axis, right? So horizontal line, this is x-axis and this is y-axis, right? Fine. And distance time graph is, it is a graph of distance and time. Okay, say for example, somebody have given a information for you. You know what? A particular car is there. Okay, say this car, in what time, how much distance it has covered. You know, that information they have given. Say, for example, distance and time. Distance, let me measure it in meters, and time, let me take it in seconds. Okay, imagine car initially has moved 2 meters in 1 second. Okay, how many meters? 2 meters in 1 second. Again, in the next second, imagine this has moved 4 meters. In the third second, imagine the car has moved 6 meters. In the fourth second, car has moved 8 meters. In the fifth second, car has moved 10 meters, right? Say this is what the information you know. This is the distance traveled by a car at a particular time instance. Okay, so this one you have to plot on a graph. So what will you do? You will just put one line horizontally, you will call it as x-axis, and one line vertically, you will call it as y-axis. Okay, and now, and y-axis is always distance. I consider y-axis as distance and I consider time as x-axis. Always consider time as x-axis. Okay, because time is the one which does not depend on anything. Okay, whatever may happen, time goes on, right? So time is something that do not depend. Okay, so that's why actually time is always taken in x-axis. Okay, and distance is taken in y-axis, right? Okay, so time, you see the time, 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second, 5 second. So how do you take a scale? So this is our 0. Let it be 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second, 5 second, 6 second. So this is how you will take a scale. And coming to distance, you see 2 meter, 4 meter, 6 meter, 8 meter, 10 meter, say equal, you know, difference is there. So just this one only you can take it as a scale. So it is 2 meters, right? 4 meters and 6 meters, 8 meters and so on. Okay, so what is this? This is distance. Let me indicate this as small d, right? And now you see the first values, you know, the first trial you see distance at 1 second, how much was the distance covered by a car? 2 meters, right? So at 1 second, 2 meters. So here you will put a point, right? And where will you put the next point? At 2 seconds, the car has traveled 4 meters, right? So where is 2 in the time slot? Here is 2. Where is 4? So somewhere here you will mark. Then the third one, third second, 6 meters was the distance covered. Then in the fourth second, 8 meters was the distance covered. In the fifth second, 10 meters was the distance covered, right? So these are what we call it as coordinate. What is the coordinate for this point? How much is the time? 1. What is the coordinate? 1, 2 we write. Okay, so time is 1. In the x-axis, this point is corresponding to 1. And in the y-axis, this point is corresponding to 2. So 1, 2 we say as coordinates for this point. Okay, now if I join all the points through 0, see, I join all the points. So this is how I get a straight line. Okay, so this is a distance time graph for, okay, for, this is a graph for uniform motion. Uniform motion. Okay, so this is the distance time graph for uniform motion. Remember, why I'm calling this as a uniform motion? Because equal distances are covered in equal instances of time. Right? So what is the time gap between first and second? 1 second. In 1 second, how much was the distance covered? 2 meters. Again, you see the time gap between second and third? 1 second. In 1 second, how much was the distance covered? 2 meters. Say for every second, 2 meters is the difference, is the gap covered, right? Is the distance covered. So, equal distances are covered in equal intervals of time. Such a motion we will call it as uniform motion, isn't it? So that's why I will call it as distance time graph for uniform motion. See, for uniform motion, always you will get a straight line. Always graph looks straight. Okay, so the line in a graph is always straight. For which motion? For uniform motion only. Right? So always you will get straight line. So this is what you need to remember. This is the first point that you need to remember. Okay, so now let me tell you what and all is the information that you can get to know from this graph. Okay, say okay, this is a uniform motion, straight line you got. So the moment you see a straight line, you can quickly say, oh, equal distances are covered in equal time. That's what you can say, right? And then what all the information that you can get? You know what? From distance time graph, we can calculate speed. Okay, at a particular point, what is the speed of a vehicle? That also we can calculate, right? So what is the first point I'm going to tell you? From, this is very important guys, from distance time graph, what we can calculate? We can calculate speed. Okay, speed we can calculate. So what is speed? What is the formula for speed? Speed is equal to distance by time, isn't it? Okay, see guys, if I have to find out speed at this point, okay, speed at this point, let this point be A. Okay, so what am I trying to find out? Speed at point A. Okay, so how can I find out? I can draw a one line like this, a dotted line perpendicular to x-axis. Okay, so from this point, if I draw a straight line touching x-axis, this is where it meets. Okay, and if I draw another line touching y-axis, okay, so this is where it meets. Say at this point, okay, can you write the coordinates of this point? In the x-axis, it is touching at 2. In the y-axis, if I draw a line, right, it is touching at 4 meters. So, can you tell me what is the time? 2 seconds. What is the distance covered by an object at this point? It is 4 meters. Right? So, speed at point A, distance covered is how much? 4 meters. 4 divided by time is 2. Right? So, what is your answer? Your answer is 2 meter per second. This is how you can always calculate speed of an object at a particular point. Okay. Say if you want to calculate speed at this point, what you have to do? Just draw a line perpendicular to the x-axis. This is what the time at this point. This is what the time. Okay. And another line onto a y-axis. So this is what the distance. So this number divided by this number you have to do. Okay. So this is the distance and this is what the time. Distance by time itself is the speed, right? So this is how from the graph you can always find out the speed of an object at the particular points. Okay, fine. So this is one importance of graph. Okay, dt graph, d in the sense distance. Second importance is very important. Understand carefully. From dt graph, okay, let me write it as dt graph in short. From dt graph, we can find velocity also, okay. Velocity also we can find. First, let us try to understand what is the formula of velocity. It was displacement. It is not the distance. There's lots of difference between distance and displacement, which was very clearly explained in my first video. Link is provided, go and watch. Okay, so velocity is equal to displacement by time, right? So now from a graph, how do you find out the displacement? Okay, say for example, let me consider this point as A and this point as B. Okay, so and this is what the displacement. Okay, the gap between A and B, this much is the displacement. Okay, so this is the displacement. So how much is the displacement, guys? This much. That means let me call this point as S2 and let me call this point as S1. Okay, so what is displacement here? S2 minus S1 divided by time. What is the time interval? This is the time, right? X-axis side is time. So let me call this as T2, this as T1. Okay, so what is the time interval? T2 minus T1. Okay, now what is S2? Substitute. What is S2? S2 is 8 meters. And what is S1? Okay, so displacement is this. This much is displacement. This much is time interval. I want to find out velocity between these 2 points. Okay, so displacement by time. Displacement means change in position. Object was here, now it is here. Change in position is called displacement. So how much is the displacement? These many meters. That means 8 minus 4. Okay, how much is the time? T2 minus T1. That is 4 minus 2. Right? So 8 minus 4 meters is the displacement and time is T2. T2 is how much? 4. T1 is 2. Right? So 8 minus 4 is 4 and 4 minus 2 is 2. So 1s are 2s are. Right? So what is the velocity? Velocity is equal to 2 meter per second. Right? So there is a difference, right? Say, just try to analyze how you found the speed at a point. Speed at a point you considered only coordinates, right? And see how we found velocity. Velocity is nothing but displacement. Displacement is always between 2 points. Consider any 2 points. I considered A and B. Okay. So this is this gap. This gap is your displacement. This is your displacement. Okay. And this gap is your time difference. Time interval. Time interval. Okay, so if this is T2, T1, T2 minus T1 you have to do. Displacement to find. If this is S1, this is S2. S2 minus S1 you have to do. Okay, so velocity is always displacement by time. Speed is always distance by time. Okay, so this is how we can calculate speed and velocity from a graph, from the information of a graph. Okay, so hope you understood what is the use of a graph. I mean, graphs are used to describe the motion. That's what we are learning. See, from a graph you can able to find speed and velocity, right? Like that we can find many more things. Okay, so now we have learned distance time graph for uniform motion, and we also know how to find speed of an object or velocity of an object, I mean from a graph. So now we will learn another type of distance time graph. Okay, we learned it for uniform motion. Now let us see how graph looks for non-uniform motion. So now guys, with the given information on a board, can you able to plot a graph? And looking at the information, can you able to say whether it is a uniform motion or non-uniform motion? Definitely yes. You see at 0 second distance traveled is 0. At 2 seconds the distance traveled is 1 meter. At 4 seconds distance traveled is 4. What is the gap? Here what is the gap between this and this? What is the difference between this and this? It is 2 seconds, right? But what is the difference between this and this? It is almost around 3 meters. And and now you see at 6th second distance traveled is 9, at 8th second distance traveled is 16. Again, what is the difference between 9 and 16? Yes, it's more than 3, right? It's not 3. That means at equal intervals of time, the distance traveled is different. It is not same. If same distances are covered in equal amount of time, like in the previous case, we called it as uniform motion. Now this is an information about non-uniform motion. Okay, so looking at the information, you must able to tell whether this is uniform motion or non-uniform motion. Okay, equal intervals of time but equal distances are not covered, right? Okay, so how do you plot a graph for this? See how a graph looks. So this is y-axis and this is x-axis. So x-axis I am taking time, so always time must be in x-axis and distance must be in y-axis. So x-axis is a time, right? So how do I take a scale? This is 0 and this can be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So this is how you can take. And how do you take distance along y-axis? How do you take a scale? 0 and let me take it as 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 and so on. Okay. Now try to plot a graph. At 0, distance is also 0. At time 2, what is the distance? 1. 1 in the sense somewhere here you will get a point. Right? Okay. So at 4 seconds, what is the distance? 4. That means 4 means it's below 5. Somewhere here you will get a dot. Right? Okay. So at 6th second, what is the distance covered? It is 9 yaar. That means somewhere here you will get a dot. So at 8th second, what is the distance? 16, right? So where is 16? Here is 15. So that means somewhere here you will get a dot, right? And at 10 it is 25. At 10 it is 25. That means, somewhere here you will get like that. And if you join from 0, if you join all the points, see how do you get? Do you get a straight line like a previous case? No, you are getting a curve. Right? So you are getting a curve. So curve is the one that you get when you plot a graph of, distance versus time for non-uniform motion. So whenever you have a curve like this, okay, in DT graph, then that graph is for non-uniform motion. Non-uniform motion. Okay, so this is really very important and you must know how a graph of uniform motion looks and a graph of non-uniform motion looks for DT graph. Okay, so when you consider distance versus time, for uniform motion you get a straight line, for your non-uniform motion you get a curve. So this is really very important. And what you can always calculate from a graph, we can always calculate speed and velocity from DT graph. Okay, fine. And now we will go for next type of a graph, VT graph, that is velocity time graph. Okay, so coming to velocity time graph, this is one of the very important graph that one must have idea on. Okay, so in short we can call it as VT graph, right? And many things we can find from VT graphs. See, first let me plot a graph. Okay, so taking y-axis and x-axis, I always told you to take time in x-axis and this guy, that is velocity, in y-axis. Okay, so just try to observe this information, guys. Imagine time, okay, and velocity information I'm giving you and try to plot a graph here. Time in second, velocity in meter per second, right? Okay, so time, okay, so let me start with, okay, 1 second. So at 1 second, velocity was around, 20 meter per second. and at 2 seconds the velocity was 20 meter per second. At 3 seconds also velocity was 20 meter per second. At 4th second also velocity was 20 meter per second. So what you can understand from this information? Okay, so let me plot a graph here. Okay, let me take time. This is 0 and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Okay, so velocity, what is the scale I can take? Okay, let me take it 5, okay, 10, 15, 20, like that. Okay, and you see here, let me plot at first second, at time 1, what was the velocity? 20. So at second, what was the velocity of an object? 20 only. And at the third second, 20. At the fourth second also 20. At the fifth second also 20. So if I join all the dots, this is what the line I get. Right? Say I get straight line parallel to x-axis. Okay, so what is this? A line, I'm getting a line parallel to x-axis, isn't it? Say, what does this mean? Can you think of for which motion you get a graph like this? It is for uniform motion. Okay, so for uniform motion, what is uniform motion? Equal distances in equal instance of time, right? Or for uniform motion, velocity or speed remains constant. So what is this graph indicating for us? From the graph, we can say that velocity is constant, right? And velocity is constant for uniform motion. So the graph that I mentioned on a board, this is the graph for which motion, guys? Uniform motion. This is very important to understand. Okay, so for uniform motion only, our speed or velocity is always constant. So you get a straight line. You see, velocity have not changed, but the time has changed. I mean, the object is moving with the same speed at every time interval. Right? So that's the reason you got this line, parallel to x-axis. Okay, so now from this particular graph, what is the information that you can get to know? Very, very important, guys. From this graph, from VT graph, okay, so what we can find is, we can find displacement. We can find displacement. This is very important. Or distance covered by a object. Okay, displacement or distance covered by a object. That is what we can able to find out. Okay, so how to find that? You know what? Let me consider 2 points here. Okay, so this is point A and this is point B. These are the 2 points I'm considering. Okay, so now from A, I'll draw a line perpendicular to x-axis. Okay, and from B also I will, okay, let me take this as a B, right? Okay, so from B, let me draw a line perpendicular to, x-axis. Okay, so, this is AB. Let me call this as, CD. Okay, so this is AB and this is CD. Okay, and now the area, this area will give you the value of displacement. Okay, so the area covered between A, B, C, D will give you the value for displacement. This is very, very important to understand. So from this particular graph, we can calculate displacement. Okay, so the area covered between A, B, C, D, from A, a line, perpendicular line you have drawn, right? And from B, you extended this point, a line is drawn onto x-axis. From A, a line is drawn onto a d-axis. And this area, area of A, B, C, D is the value for displacement, Okay, so if you can calculate the area of ABCD, then that itself is the answer for displacement or distance covered by an object. Okay, so what is the distance or displacement here? Is equal to area of ABCD. So what is ABCD? It's like a rectangle, right? So how do you calculate the area of rectangle? It is length into breadth, right? It is length into breadth. So area of rectangle, it's nothing but a rectangle, right? So length into breadth. So what is length here? Length is DC, right? So DC. This is DC. This much is the length, right? Into breadth. So how much is the breadth? What is the breadth here? AD. AD is the breadth. So what is the value of DC? DC, right? And it was DC is how much? See, 2, 5, right? DC is nothing but, see, D is at time 2 seconds and C is at time 5 seconds. So your DC is equal to, I can say 5 minus 2. So DC is equal to 3 seconds, right? So first second, second second, third second. So DC length, this DC value is 3 seconds. So how much is our AD? AD, this is our breadth, right? AD's value is how much? So 0 to 20. That means, 20 meter per second. So AD value is 20 meter per second. That is this much value. And DC is this much, this difference. So 5 minus 2. 2 you have to do, right? So what is our DC? DC is 3 into, and AD is 20, right? So what is your answer? It is 60 meters. So what is your distance or displacement here? Distance. Okay, let me call here distance or displacement is one and the same in this case. Okay, so that is around 60 meters. So this is how you can calculate distance or displacement from VT graph. It's nothing but the area covered. Okay, this is one of the very, very important use. And now let us discuss about VT graph for non-uniform motion. Remember, doing VT graph for non-uniform motion. This is the graph for uniform motion, and from this we got to know how to calculate the distance or displacement. It is just the area covered in this particular region. Okay, fine. See guys, observe how VT graph of non-uniform motion looks like. Non-uniform motion. Remember here, but the acceleration is uniform. Okay, non-uniform motion with uniform acceleration. This is very, very important. Acceleration is uniform only, right? We normally say it as uniformly accelerated motion. Uniformly accelerated motion. So uniform in the sense what? Constant. Acceleration is constant. Speeding up is constant. Okay, but the velocity may not be constant, right? So such a motion we will call it as uniformly accelerated motion. Okay, fine. So when you plot a graph, say I'm directly showing you how a graph looks. Okay, so this is velocity in y-axis, time in x-axis. Okay, let me consider time something like this: 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 25 seconds, and velocity as 10 meter per second, 20 meter per second, 30 meter per second, 40 meter per second, 50 meter per second, and so on. Okay, so when you plot a graph, you get a straight line. This is really very important to understand. Okay, so when you plot VT graph for uniformly accelerated motion, you will always get a straight line. Okay, so this is really very important. So how does a graph looks? We get a straight line. A straight line for what kind of motion? Uniformly accelerated motion. So now finding distance or displacement. Okay, so in the previous graph also, from VT graph, what is the important use of VT graph? We can able to find the distance or displacement. Okay, so here in this graph, how do you find the distance or displacement? Finding distance, okay, from VT graph of uniformly accelerated motion. Okay, consider any 2 points. Okay, so let me consider this point A and this point B. Okay, these are the 2 points I'm considering. So do you remember how did we calculate the distance or displacement from the previous graph? Just we have drawn a line, onto x-axis, perpendicular to x-axis, right? From A, a line perpendicular to x-axis. Let me call this as A, B is here, right? Let me call this as C, okay? And another one perpendicular to x-axis. Let me call this as D, okay? And this area is what will give you answer for distance or displacement, isn't it? And what is this? This looks like a trapezium. We call this as what? Trapezium. Okay, so here area of trapezium is equal to distance. Okay, so how do you calculate the area of trapezium? Or you can break this something like this, right? Right, one more line I will draw, perpendicular to BD. Okay, let me call it as E, right? And it is nothing but a combination of triangle and rectangle, right? So this is rectangle and this is your triangle, right? So if you can find area of triangle and rectangle, you add both of them. That becomes area of ACDB. Okay, so area of trapezium. What is trapezium here? ABDC. Okay, so area of ABDC, if you can calculate, that one can be equal to the distance traveled by object. Okay, distance traveled by object between point A and B, right? Okay, so now area of ABCD, how you can calculate? You can calculate area of triangle ABE plus area of rectangle. What is the rectangle here? AEDC. Okay, so what is area of triangle? Area of triangle formula is half into length into base. Okay, so half into, it is nothing but half into base into length, right? Plus, what is area of rectangle? In the previous case, we have calculated length into breadth. Length into breadth, right? So here, let's substitute half into base is how much? Base is AE. Okay, AE is this much. AE is AE into length. Length is how much? BE, right? Plus length into breadth. So what is the length here? Length is CD into breadth. Breadth is AC. AC. Okay. So if you can substitute the values of AE, BE, CD and AC, you will get one digit and that is equal to your distance. Okay, so this is the way of calculating displacement for uniformly accelerated motion from a graph. Okay, so hope you understood the concept. And now I will be showing you two more graphs here. So try to find out what graphs are they. I mean, what type of motion they talk about. Okay. See, if I have y-axis and x-axis, in the y-axis I'm taking velocity and in the x-axis I'm taking time. Imagine if I get a line something like this. Okay. See, if I get a line like this indicates that I'm talking about uniformly accelerated motion with negative velocity. Okay, I'm talking about uniformly accelerated motion with negative velocity. I mean, if the speed decreases. Okay, see here what you can observe here, as the time increases, the speed or the velocity is also increasing, right? So here speeding of object you will notice, but here you see as the time increases, what's happening? Your velocity is decreasing, right? So here v is decreasing, right? So here v is decreasing. So if velocity decreases as time increases, then this is how a graph looks like. Okay, so this is one more graph. And another one is, imagine if you have, this is v and this is t. This is also vt graph. In case if you get something like this, what does this indicate? This indicates that non-uniformly accelerated motion. Okay, so for non-uniformly accelerated motion, if the acceleration is not constant, then you get a graph like this. So actually, if you have to understand from a graph, this is how we can understand. See, object has started at this point. Okay, and here the speed increased. Again, you see here there is a stop. Again, the speed decreased. Speed increased. Again, the speed decreased. Right? So speed increased, decreased. So the speed is not constant. Velocity is not constant. I mean, the acceleration is also not constant. Okay, so when the acceleration is not constant, then this is how the graph can look like. Okay, so these are various VT graphs, right, that we have studied, and one major use of VT graphs is finding displacement or distance. It's just the area covered is distance or displacement. Okay, fine. And we have one more use. We can actually calculate acceleration also from VT graph. So anyway, calculating acceleration from VT graph, you will learn it in higher levels. Don't worry. So now this much is more than enough to know about the graphs for 9th level. Okay. So now we will go for the 3 important equations of motion and how we can derive them in a simple way from a graph. And we also talk about the numericals. We will discuss some numericals on those equations also. So coming to the last topic of the chapter, it is equations of motions. So they are very, very important. So there are 3 equations of motion. Okay. So actually these equations will tell us what actually there is a relationship between velocity and time, displacement and time. Okay. So just observe the equations. The first very equation is equal to V is equal to U plus AT. Okay. So second equation is S is equal to UT plus half AT square. This is really a very important equation. And the third one is V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. Right? And so you must be wondering what is this VUAT, right? So we have used these terms before. They are not actually new. So here V is final velocity. Okay, so this is final velocity. After an object traveled certain distance, if it is there at a point A after some distance, then velocity at that point A is final velocity. Okay, so just remember V is final velocity and U is initial velocity here. So this is initial velocity, and coming to A is acceleration. This is very, very important, acceleration. And T is time. Okay, time. And coming to S, we have S. S is the distance or displacement. Actually, it's a displacement. Okay, so for your level, I can call it as just distance. Okay, so this is distance. So S is distance traveled by your object in a particular time. So time is T. A is acceleration with which an object has traveled. U is initial velocity. I mean, when it started its journey, or initial velocity, always it cannot be a zero. Always it cannot be a rest point. Okay, so it's a initial velocity, and V is final velocity. So this is what the meanings of these terms, guys. And here, if you observe this equation, you have a relationship between velocity and time. And here you have a relationship between distance and time. Okay. And here the relationship between I can say velocity and acceleration or distance. Right. So here these terms are connected these ways. And now how do you derive them? Actually, their derivation, it's not so important, because people derive these equations in different ways. Say they can derive it from a graph, they can derive it normally with logical things. Okay, actually you can derive them with certain definitions. There are many ways of deriving these equations, but one way of deriving them is from a graph. So it is not that very important, but still I will tell you as it is mentioned in your textbooks. Okay, so let us derive the first equation. Okay, so let us try to derive. I'm showing the derivation of which equation? This is V is equal to U plus AT. So this equation gives a relation between. So this is a relation between velocity and time. Velocity and time. Okay, to derive this, let me consider a graph of uniformly accelerated motion. Okay, so I am considering VT graph. We know what you mean by VT graph, right? So VT graph of uniformly accelerated motion. Okay, accelerated motion. So we know you get a straight line. Say if this is V in y-axis and this is T in x-axis. So we in the previous case we got uniformly accelerated one, we got a straight line. But straight line is always need not be from point 0. Okay, so a straight line can be at any point. Let me take from this point, you got a straight line. Okay, so now this is your initial velocity. The point where the object has started is initial velocity. If the object has started from 0, you would have got straight line from here, right? So it is not always a 0. Initial velocity need not be 0 always. Okay, so it can be any value. Say the difference between the previous graph and this is just, see, I drew it from this point. Now I'm drawing it from certain point. Okay, so the point where I started is my initial velocity, that is U. Okay, so let me consider this as a point A. Okay, so this is our initial velocity of an object. Fine. And let this point be B, right? Okay. So now what I will do is I will draw a line. Okay, so this is the extended line. Say this is the line I'll draw perpendicular to y-axis. I'm calling it as, let it be C. Okay, and a line that I draw perpendicular to x-axis, and let me call this as D. Right? Maybe these things are different in your NCERT textbooks, right? However you want, you can name them however you want. Okay, fine. So now what I do is, okay, so one more line I will draw here. Okay, so let me call this as point, A is over B is over, let me call this as E. Okay, fine. And we all very well, this is point O. This is point O. Okay, so what you can understand from a graph is this distance, this much, this OA, let OA is initial velocity. This is initial velocity. This length, this length, this velocity on y-axis, that is your initial velocity. Okay, so that is initial velocity u. Always remember OA is u. Okay, and let BD or CO. Okay, this CO or BD, right? So this BD, if I take it on y-axis, this much is the length. Okay, so what is this final velocity? Okay, so this is actually final velocity V. So BD is final velocity V. Okay, and see here OD is time interval. What is this gap? This is nothing but, say if I consider this as T2, this is T1, T2 minus T1, that is time interval. Okay, so OD is time, it is nothing but time T. Okay, so now if I have to derive a first equation, let me consider the definition of acceleration. So we studied what do you mean by acceleration. Acceleration is nothing but change in velocity, right? It is nothing but change in velocity by time, right? So what is change in velocity here? What is change in velocity? It is actually BD, that is this much, this is the final velocity minus initial velocity. Final velocity is how much? Okay, let me write it here. Change in velocity is nothing but final velocity minus initial velocity, right? So what is final velocity? Final velocity is how much? BD, right? So BD, yeah, divided by time. So final velocity is BD minus initial velocity. Initial velocity is OA. Okay, see, it is BD means this much, BD minus OA. So this much is the change in velocity, right? So how do you get this much? This minus this minus this, you will get this, right? So this is change in velocity. This is what we calculated. So how do you calculate this? This, what is this? BD, okay, minus AO or OA. Okay, so BD minus OA divided by time is what? Time is OD, right? Time is OD. Right? So let me do it here. So that's what. So now acceleration symbol is A. So acceleration is equal to BD minus OA divided by OD. What is BD? BD is V, I took BD as V. Minus, what is OA? OA is U divided by, what is OD? OD is T. Right? So now this I will bring it with A. I can write AT is equal to V minus U. So this U, if I bring it here, how can I rearrange? V is equal to U plus AT. I got my equation. Okay. So this is the first kinematic equation. First equation of motion. V is equal to U plus AT. So hope you understood how we derived. Just, I have drawn a straight line from A, okay, and I have done a perpendicular line onto x-axis and a perpendicular line onto y-axis also. Okay, so what I just done is I have applied the formula of acceleration, the definition of acceleration. Acceleration is change in velocity by time. Okay, so change in velocity is how much? This is final velocity. Okay, so this much minus this. So this much is the change in velocity. How do you calculate this? This minus this, right? So this we called it as V. This OA we called it as U, and this we know time interval. So that's what we substituted and got the formula, right? Okay, so now we will go for deriving the second formula, that is S is equal to UT plus half AT square. See guys, derivation of S is equal to UT plus half AT square. This is the relationship between position and time. Okay, so here S is actually distance. From the same graph, I can derive it easily. S is what I told. S is nothing but distance, right? And do you remember in the previous, just a few minutes before, we have learned how to find distance or displacement from VT graph. It's nothing but the area covered, right? So here, this area covered. So this is the area covered between A and B. Between A and B, how much is the area covered? This is the area covered. Okay. So the area of OABD will give you the answer for distance. Okay. So what is S here? S, that is nothing but distance, is area enclosed or area covered in OABD. Okay, so this much is the area enclosed. So what is this? OABD is nothing but trapezium, right? So trapezium is again nothing but what? It is this triangle plus this rectangle. Okay, so here OABD is equal to, what is that? Triangle ABE plus rectangle OAED. Okay, OAED. Okay, so this is area of this. Area of OABD is nothing but area of triangle plus area of rectangle, right? Okay, so now area of OABD. Area of OABD is nothing but what? Yes, right? So S is equal to area of triangle. Area of triangle is what? It is base into height. What is base? AE, right? So AE into height. Height is BE, right? So BE, okay? AE into BE. Okay, and now plus area of rectangle is how much? Rectangle OADE, length into breadth. So what is the breadth? OA. OA is the breadth into length. Length is how much? OD. Right? Okay. So S is equal to AE is what? AE. AE is nothing but OD. Yes, OD is nothing but time interval. Okay, OD is nothing but time interval, right? So AE is equal to OD. OD is equal to T. So I'll write T here into BE. Okay, let me discuss BE. Let me write it as BE as of now. Plus OA. What is OA? OA is initial velocity, right? OA is this much. This is nothing but initial velocity U. Okay. Into OD. OD is what? Time interval. Time gap. So that is T. Okay. Fine. So now we want the value of B. Okay. Let me write that equation here. S is equal to T into BE. Right? Plus UT. So we want to know what is BE here, right? Okay, so let's understand what do you mean by BE. Say, actually speaking, from VT graph, we can calculate acceleration. What is that? We can calculate acceleration. Okay, so you know what do you mean by acceleration? How do we calculate acceleration? Acceleration is nothing but change in velocity, right? So it is nothing but change in velocity by time. Yes, okay. So now what is change in velocity here? That is from the graph. See, this much is initial velocity, this is final velocity. This much is the change in velocity, that is AC. Our AC is equal to BE, no? AC, this length is equal to BE, right? So here in case of change in velocity, I'll write it as BE. Right, so BE and divided by time. Okay, time, let it be T. So that means, can I write BE is equal to AT? Definitely. So our BE is equal to AT, right? So what I will write here, S is equal to TE into BA is nothing but what? AT, right? AT plus UT. So what do I get? S is equal to AT square plus UT. That's what. This I can also write it as S is equal to UT plus. Guys, what we have forgot here? Area of triangle is actually half into base into height, right? So everywhere half we forgot. So there comes half and here comes half, right? So here also comes half. So what I can write here? S is equal to UT plus half AT square. So somehow such mistakes are made, right? So everywhere we have to include that half. So this is how we can derive S is equal to UT plus half AT square, right? So hope you understood the derivation. Anyway, derivation is not that important. Remembering the equation is important. So if you go for a higher level, you will see that this equation is being derived from another means. Okay, so by another concept. So as of now, since it's mentioned in a textbook, we are just deriving. And now let me derive the third equation. Say third equation, I'll derive it in a much simple way, that is not from a graph. Just observe how do I derive a third equation. See guys, observe carefully the derivation of this equation. See, it's very simple if you go in this way, right? So we all know average velocity formula, right? Average velocity formula we learnt in case of velocity. It is nothing but V plus U divided by 2 is called average velocity. Initial velocity, final velocity divided by 2 for uniform accelerated motion. Okay. See now, velocity is what? The definition of velocity is what? We all know it is displacement. Velocity definition. Instead of writing average velocity word, I am writing its definition. Displacement divided by time, right, is equal to V plus U by 2. What is displacement? Displacement symbol is S, or distance or displacement is one and the same in this case. S by T is equal to V plus U by 2. So here S is equal to what I can write? V plus U by 2 into T. Okay, and I will shift this 2 here. So I will write it as 2S is equal to V plus U into T. Okay, so let me call this equation as 1. Okay, fine. And we know the equation. We know the first equation. What is that? V is equal to U plus AT, right? I will shift this U this side. So V minus U is equal to AT I can write, right? So here I can write A is equal to v minus u by t, right? So the same equation I can write it in this way. This is equation 2. Okay, so multiplying equation 1 and 2, what do you get? Multiply LHS, RHS. This is LHS, this is RHS. This is LHS, this is RHS. Multiply LHS with LHS. So 2s into A. Multiply RHS with RHS. How do you multiply? V plus U into T into this one, V minus U by T. So this T gets cancelled. So what is remaining? V plus U, V minus U, right? So what do you get? V into V square, and the V into U. So let me write it as minus VU plus U into UV, right? U plus U into minus U. That will be minus U square. This minus UV plus UV gets cancelled. So what do you get, guys? 2AS is equal to V square minus U square, right? So this is your equation, right? So very simple. So this we know. Actually from graph, this is what we will come to know. From graph, okay, so the distance, how do you find? It is the area of trapezium. So when you take it from graph also, this is the equation you will get. And we know this equation, on multiplying both of them, we get the final equation, this. Okay, so it's very simple. So we have discussed the derivation of all three equations, and now we will see few important problems, like how we can solve a problem if a question is asked. Okay, so depending on all three equations, we can solve a question. So let's see few numericals or problems that we have in our chapter. Look at the question number 1, guys. A train starting from rest attains a velocity of 72 km per hour in 5 minutes. Okay, so there is a train, right? And it was at rest. It was at rest in the sense u is equal to 0 meter per second. What is u? Initial velocity. And it traveled for about 5 minutes, and it is somewhere here, right? And this is the final position. So the final velocity of a train is 72 km per hour. What they asked you to find out? Acceleration. Okay, so u is equal to 0 meter per second. Time is 5 minutes. Okay, and this one, velocity is 72 km per hour. Convert this into meter per second. 72, right? So 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters, right? So 72 kilometers is how many meters? It is 1000. See, 72 kilometers. K, small k means 1000 divided by hour. So 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. So 3600. Okay. So if you do this calculation, how much do you get? 720 divided by 36. It is almost 20 meter per second. So this is your V. Okay. So V is this much, U is this much. Time is 5 minutes. Now convert it into seconds. So T is equal to 5 into 60. So 5 6 are 30. So 300 seconds. So time must be in seconds. Velocity must be in meter per seconds. So you have to first convert that. If it is there in minutes and if it is there in kilometer per hour. This is really very important. So now you calculate acceleration. So what is the formula? V is equal to U plus AT, right? So V minus U divided by T is equal to acceleration, right? So what is V? It is 20 minus U is 0 divided by time is 300, right? So is equal to A. So what do you get? 20 divided by 300. This get cancelled. 1s are 2 1s are 2 5s are is equal to A. So A is equal to 1 by 15 meter per second square is the unit, right? So this is the answer for first question. And coming to second question, what is the second question? Distance traveled by a train. Whenever they asked about distance, right, you can use the formula S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Okay, so here U is 0 into time is 300 seconds plus half into acceleration is how much? Just now you calculated. It is 1 by 15 into time square, that is 300 square, right? So S is equal to 0 into something 0 plus 1 by this 2 into 15 if you do, how much do you get? 2 5s are 10, 2 1s are 2, 3. Okay, so it is 30 into 300 square, that is 300 into 300 you have to do, right? So 1 0 cancel with 1 0. So this is 1s are, right? 3 1s are 1 0. So 300 into 10, how much do you get? S is equal to 3000 meters, or S is equal to 3 kilometer. Okay, 1 kilometer is 1000 meters, no? So 3000 meters is 3 kilometers. Okay, so this is how you will solve the problem. Very simple, right? But converting is very, very important. There you have to be careful. Coming to second problem, very, very important. See here, the brakes applied to a car produce acceleration 6 meter per second square in opposite direction of motion. If car takes 2 seconds to stop, calculate distance it travels during this time. See, there is a car, right? Okay, and this car is moving, and suddenly you applied brakes. Okay, suddenly you applied brakes, and you know, soon after applying brake it will not stop, right? It will move to a certain distance, right? So it moved to a certain distance and it stopped. Okay, so how much is the time took place for a car to move from here to here? It is 2 seconds, that is the time. And what is the distance? This distance they are asking you to calculate. Okay, so here acceleration, you see, acceleration is given 6 meter per second square, but the acceleration in opposite direction, if at all, if they mention acceleration in opposite direction, then A sign should be minus. A has a sign, V has a sign, U has a sign. Okay, so here you have to be careful. Say if something is there in opposite direction, then sign have to be negative. So here A value should be minus 6 meter per second square. Okay, so now how do you calculate? They asked you to calculate distance, right? Distance, when they asked you, always use the formula S is equal to UT plus half AT square. See here, initial velocity is not given. You have to calculate. Okay. See, final velocity is how much? See, after some distance, car stops. So, final velocity of a car when it is stopped. So, V is equal to 0. Okay, A is equal to minus 6 meter per second square. So, what is U, guys? So, calculate U now. We know the formula V is equal to U plus AT. Right? So, it is V minus AT is equal to U. So, here V is how much? 0. Minus A is how much? Minus 6 into T is 2 seconds. Time is 2 seconds. Okay. So, your U is equal to 12 meter per second. Isn't it? So, that U value you substitute here. So, U is 12 into time is 2 seconds plus half A is minus 6 into T square is 2 square. So here this will be 24, right? Plus half into minus 6 into 4. So 2 ones are 2 twos are, right? So 24 minus into plus minus 6 twos are 12. So S is equal to 12 meters is the answer. So that's all about the problem, guys. So here when you take a sign for acceleration, you have to be very, very careful. When they mention something, if the acceleration is acted in opposite direction, then definitely a value must be minus. Okay, so these are two examples, and likewise the more examples you solve, the more perfect you will become. So apply the formulas, just read the question properly, try to understand. If you can put one figure, you feel it much easy, what is given and what is that you have to calculate. Your analyzation becomes easy when you put the figure. So use the formulas and calculate various numericals. With this, I am completing this chapter, motion. Okay, so hope you enjoyed the concept. If you have understood, just post your opinion in the comments, and meet you up with the next chapter. See you. Do subscribe our channel to learn the concepts in the easiest way and in a detailed way. Thank you.